What is up, guys? Ridiverse here, man. We're back with another anime video. If you were here watching this video, first thing I want to say is you can pretty much treat this video like a podcast. I'm not gonna string together too much of any video or anything like that, just to avoid any copyright. I'm not sure on the exact copyright or deal what's going on with Attack on Titan. But as you may know, our video we're gonna be talking about Attack on Titan. Um, Here to start off. Basically, we're gonna talk about my realization here. What I've realized after watching episode two of Attack on Titan. Well, really after even just the first episode, but it really solidified after watching the second episode. And I'm sure I think I heard a little bit about the third episode. But another thing I want to go ahead and just point out really quick is I do not keep up with the manga, so I won't spoil. There won't be any spoilers here about the mangas. So this realization I've had is strictly based off what I watched in the anime. So if you're a manga reader, it probably won't tell you that. I probably might just tell you everything you already know. But if you might want to stick around either anyway. Just maybe to hear what I have to say. So after watching episode two, I've come to have a bigger out view on this world and Attack on Titan. But let me start by saying this. If you've noticed throughout the series, Attack on Titan has become something bigger than what we ever anticipated. Like every episode, not every episode, but as you watch the series, there just become there's times where it's just bigger realizations happen. You just realize there's a bigger plot to this story than what's being told. For example, first things first is we thought Titans were the enemy. We had no clue where Titans came from. We had no clue where this wall came from. Um, we started realizing where Titans were by the end of season one. Then we realized why everyone was on the island by the end of season three. I can't remember what exactly did we learn anything important about season two besides Eren could turn to Titans. But, no, but I think we learned that by the end of season one. So I mean, just so many small things here and there, and gradually we just didn't know. Like, right, it was a big mystery once we found out. Wow, Eren can turn into a Titan. That is crazy. Why? I wonder why. And just knowledge like that just keeps building and building, and we keep getting this bigger picture. So, and the reason there it is because as we get this knowledge, we get our own perceptions of it. So we're fed, oh, Titans are bad, and then we get fed, oh, people can become Titans. Oh, Titans are humans. So it's our perception is constantly changing while watching Attack on Titan. So we kind of learn things very I guess in the way the author pretty much wants us to learn them. Like it's nothing we don't learn anything the author doesn't really want us to learn until he wants us to learn it. So which is pretty much how stories are, just almost everything. But it's very rare that it's done really well like this. Now, Attack on Titan is at a point now. Like I said, let me get to why my realization from episode two. I'm starting to realize the people on the other side of the island or other side of the sea, because I think Aaron and them are on the island. These guys are on like I think a peninsula or whatever. I don't know the geographics. I'm pretty sure Aaron and those guys are on the island, right? So Reiner and the Eldens, right? So we're starting to learn about these guys. We're starting to learn about the nine Titans, things like that. And what I'm starting to pick up is they're not bad. As much as we learn, even at the end of season three, right? Because we're on season four now. We left that season thinking, oh man, F Reiner, F Zeke, F who else did we see? I don't remember seeing too many. We saw the other Titan that could the one that carried people. We were just like mad at those guys. We're like, oh man, they took out this guy. They took out they just took out a lot of our favorite characters with no reason why. So as the story progresses, season four starts, we're starting to understand what was really going on at that time. Now, um, at the time, I think we knew. Well, even through season three, I don't think even at the end of it we knew why initially they were attacking Aaron and were getting attacked or anything like that. Maybe we did. Yeah, I think we may have. We might have knew. We might have knew. Now the more I think back on it, I didn't refresh on season three or two, so I'm going off of decent memory, but I have a great grasp on it, because it's definitely a series I remember very very well. So pretty much right now in the story, I'm finally getting a picture that these Eldens aren't bad, right? Reiner's not bad. Zeke's not bad. They're just doing their job. It's a war between um Aaron's Island, the what's it called? The founding titan is what I was getting at. But let me rephrase that. Not a war between Reiner and not Reiner. When I say Reiner, I mean the Eldens in general. The Eldens and the founding titan. It's not just really a war you can say, but more so the Eldens are trying to retrieve the founding titan for um for other reasons outside of they just need all the titans. So right now, as the story progressed, we had little knowledge on Titans. We had no little knowledge on Aaron's father. That was like a big key the whole time. Like what was in the basement, things like that. We were wondering why Aaron could transform, where the heck Reiner and these guys came from once we found them out. Who the heck was Zeke? And as the story progressed, we know what these guys are. They're warriors. They're soldiers. And as the story progresses, we're starting to understand that Eldens aren't bad. And these are just what Aaron is, guys. Are those Eldens as well? I believe so, right? Isn't the Fountain Titan that whole area? Those are Elden people, I believe. Um, pretty sure. Pretty sure those are all like they can all turn to Titan. Yeah, because because if Aaron can turn to the Titan and they can all turn to Titan, I'm pretty sure they're all Elden. So, anyways, those guys across the island are Eldens. The Fountain Titan areas, I guess what I would call. I wish I knew more correct terms of like how to describe these areas. But Fountain Titan area, we know that's Aaron and the scouts and the guys like that. And then you have the Eldens. I guess the other side of the sea. I don't really know. I'll just call them Eldens, even though I'm pretty sure they have their own name. But either way, they're trying to basically defend their honor because in the past, Titans were seen as even back then they were seen as bad. So since the Eldens are the ones that can become Titans, become people one of the nines, they are viewed as evil to the rest of the world that are unable to become Titans. As I'm assuming that everyone else are unable to become Titans, and that's the whole reason Eldens are even still around right now. I'm assuming is because of their Titan value, right? So right now we just saw them in the war, and as we know from the war that they're losing power. Titans, grasp of power is kind of, loose because they're found weapons to counter these Titans. So it's not much, just having Titans isn't going to be enough to keep you in power anymore. Now, I guess, like I said, there's a deep hatred for Eldens because of their ability to become Titans and things like that and their history. So there's a deep hate, but there's still a need for them because of that ability, and it keeps this certain island in power. I'm not gonna get into specifics like names, things like that. It's overcomplicate my realization here. It's just one thing I want to simply point out, and I'm gonna have to bring in some outside knowledge here. So just whispers. Manga readers love to speak on the they love to talk about the manga. Well, not really. They like to spoil things without really directly explaining it. So they're just like, oh yeah, you guys are gonna you're in for a big surprise. You're in for a big ride. Things like that. So I'm getting a picture of I just know it's just like not happy. Right, whatever the point the manga's at, if it's finished or not, I just know it's not very happy. Now, I can see that from right now, episode 2, why that is. Right now, we see Reiner's not a bad guy, Zeke's not a bad guy. We can assume everyone else that has been a nine is not bad. We can assume that they're just doing their job and for a good reason, right? So we know why Zeke and them they wanted the Founding Titan back for reasons stated earlier. They're losing their power, their grip, so they need all the Titans to still hold some power. Now, even with all the powers, that's not saying much. But not having all of them is basically they're really lacking power and cannot hold their military might the same, right? But the Eldens aren't. They're fighting a war that really isn't about the Eldens, but more so the city that they belong to. I want to say so. Eldens and it's not a direct correlation between their victories and the Eldens. Like just because Eldens are fighting the war doesn't mean the Eldens are the ones that benefit from winning the war and things like that. So it's my point I'm getting at there. But either ways, We're seeing that just because Reiner and those guys, they came in there attacked, and it all seemed it was all bizarre at first. You think back on it, think back on that first season, and like Reiner smashed it through the wall. We didn't realize what the heck was going on at the time, but then you think like on it, why did Reiner like you start thinking back on season like 2 or even 3, you're like, why when we finally realized Reiner's the armored titan, why did they break through? When we realized who the colossal titan was, why did they break through? Why did they do those things? You may wonder to yourself, but then you start to think, well, they were just trying to get the titan, the founding titan back. Now, my realization here is two things. One, a lot of innocent people are gonna die. The reason it is because I see now that Reiner's not a bad guy. Zeke's not a bad guy. I see what was going on now. I see now what they were doing, what their efforts were, and that it's war, it's strategy. They had to kill innocent people, and they didn't have to, but what they did was a strategy to kill the people to get to the Fountain Titan, because the Fountain Titan ruled over that land. So pretty much they had to kind of strategically attack and kind of off one by one this island, right? And their perception of maybe the people on the island was maybe even skewed by their just growing up. These elders growing up across the sea, they're probably just growing up like, oh, we hate those Fountain Titan devils or whatever they wanted to call them. They probably grew up, hating those guys, right? And not really realizing that they're not bad people either. But it came to a point where you come in there and attack, and it becomes rage from people like Aaron, Masoka, Armin, and those guys like that. We get Levi. Those guys get affected. Now that attack is gonna lead to a retaliation, which we know that. So now what's gonna happen is innocent people on both sides are gonna die. Now innocent people have already died on the founding Titan side, right? They, Zeke and those guys, they attacked. All sole purpose was to retrieve the founding Titan back. So their fight, they had to obviously, I guess, off. I honestly don't, they had Titans, so I don't see why it was nothing really the scouts could have did to if and I think on it, I feel like it's justified. I know why they attacked was the retreat of Fountain back, but I feel like they definitely could have. What's his? Reiner could have easily just transformed. He could have just got to the capital, transformed, and just demanded to get the Fountain Titan or whatever. Because I don't think at the time no one would have been able to stop him. No one would have been able to cut his neck. And at the time, if he did it before they realized what a armored Titan was, no one would have been able to come up with any instrument to defeat him at the time. So I don't see why he couldn't have just waltzed in there at the beginning and done that. But anyways, I'm getting off track here. So my realization is that Aaron that basically both sides are, I don't want to say justified, but have reasons. They both equally have reasons as to what's going on. Well, more so Aaron. Well, Aaron's side has retaliated, but I now see the Reiner's and Zeke's side of it, right? So we're starting to see that. We starting to understand that background story of what happened, 4 years prior. Right, it was 4 years prior. So we get that. We're starting to get both sides. Now that's where once we realize now why they were doing what they were doing, now we're finna start seeing innocent people get hurt. Let's say these kids, right, the kids that are training to be the next Titan holders, they might get hurt, and we're like, well, they had nothing to do with that earlier attack, but just because Reiner and Zeke has something to do with those, these guys are gonna have to pay because they're the ones they live with the people who arranged the attack. I guess I can put it in simple terms. Basically, innocent people are finna get hurt. Is my realization here, and it's not. And I see now there's not really finna be a good story for anybody. So we're finna see a different. I already know Aaron, um, and a different Jaeger. And I already know that, but I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be probably in the way we want. Now that we have this realization of who these guys really are, these Eldons, right, and their reasoning. Now, my second realization is if there is a person to blame for all the suffering that's happened and is going to happen, we can blame the Founding Titan. It is the Founding Titan's fault for initially leaving and been wanting to be, I guess, its own on its own island. I forgot the reasoning. I think they may explain it in last season or so. I can't remember exactly. But if we have anyone to blame, it's the Fountain Titans, because it's the whole reason they had to orchestrate that attack was to retrieve the Fountain Titan again. So like I said, if we have anyone to blame, it's the Fountain Titan. So I feel like now that I realized this by episode two, I feel like what's finna all happen is finna be pointless. A lot of pointless deaths is what it looks like it's finna happen, and yeah, I don't think it's gonna be any win-wins for anybody coming up, and I don't really see much of any positives that can come out of what's gonna happen next. So all I know is I heard like episode three, we're supposed to really get to like Reiner, and so things like that. And I think even this episode, I think I really like Zeke now. I really think I enjoy Zeke now. I'm starting to enjoy all the guys now. On the other side of the sea. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting coming up. But yeah, that's my realization, guys. I feel like everything that's happened so far, we can blame it on the Valentine, and everything that's about to happen feels kind of pointless if you really think about how much we've gained and the perspective we have now as a whole. So, anyways, if you guys enjoyed this, please leave a like. Uh, also, comment what you guys think, man. I want to hear what you guys feel, think, knowledge. If you agree, disagree, or already know it. If don't spoil anything about the manga, but also go ahead and hit that subscribe button, man. Real diversity. We are out. Peace.